Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to You Only Get One Life, Dadapani. So interesting. Again, I don't know what particular philosophy he follows. Boy, he's really staring. He's really staring at me. Whew. Anyways, um, but I think this is probably speaking more of the Western mindset, and this is, in my opinion, even after knowing Advaita Vedanta, having is it Samkhya? I believe that being a bit more specific to my philosophy, you do only get one life. Because the consciousness is only ever one. But the body, the experience of the body is always different. So this body will only have one life. Whereas the conscience is all pervasive anyway, so it doesn't have one life or even a life in a sense because it doesn't experience anything. It's just pure awareness. Whereas the body is the one that experiences things, the ego itself, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the consciousness, the pure consciousness, Brahman, Atman, is just pure awareness and nothing else. It doesn't have memories. It doesn't have emotions. All it does is just essentially illuminates pure awareness. Whereas this body itself is what is able to have memories, to have not have consciousness, but to experience things through our five senses and to have memories, to remember things and all that. So, in a sense, yes, you do have only one life, even if you believe in reincarnation, which I kind of find strange still, because again, this consciousness that keeps being reborn, but it's only one consciousness, and it's always being reborn regardless if you're enlightened or not, because as long as the human population continues to give birth, it's weird to say that consciousness will pop out, but it's not. It's not like that. It's a new thing will exist in consciousness. I guess that's the right way to say it. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say there. But anyways, let's go ahead and hear what Dandapani here has to say.
Do you realize that you have one life, just one life as you? I mean, I believe in reincarnation, but
Oh,
who knows what I'm going to be in my next life or who I'm going to be in my next life. I know I have one life as Dandapani, and I want to be very intentional about how I live this life. But I can't be intentional if I don't have clarity around what it is I want in my life. Who is important in my life? What is important in my life? What is my purpose in life? Why am I here on this planet? What am I here to do? What drives me? What fills me up? Now, it's very difficult to know all of those things if I can't focus and maintain a state of self reflection long enough to go within me, to look within me, and really understand and get the answers from within me. That's why I always talk about focus. We have to start with focus. Focus is not just about leading a more efficient life.
and I believe his particular path is Raja Yoga, meditation, because that's how you get focus. I believe there's other ways of getting focus, of course, but I think the purest form of meditation is the purest form of meditation. The purest form of focus is meditation, Raja Yoga, because that's where you clear everything out of your mind and you just focus on essentially clarity and then getting back into the rough and dirty of life itself. So again, I believe it's interesting to see how each gurus or swamis, what particular path they tend to follow more on. And again, he very much talks about focus, which I do believe to be meditation or Raja Yoga.
A more productive life. Focus is the fundamental first step you need to learn, the first skill you need to learn to get to know you. And if you don't get to know you, how would you ever know what it is you truly want in life and who you are? Start with focus. Understand how the mind works, learn to focus it, practice it, and become good at it. I would highly recommend you check out my Happier Life program, which we're having our launch right now. The first course in the Happier Life program is the Unwavering Focus course, and it's all about teaching you how the mind works, how to focus, and how to practice being focused so you can actually be good at it. Remember, you can't just learn to focus, you actually need to practice it, and you need to practice it consistently in order to be good at it, so that you can apply that ability to focus in every aspect of your life, including understanding who you are.
I was thinking whenever he's talking about that, learning how to focus and all that. I think a great way to do this is something that I do. I have a house, and there's a yard that we have to cut the grass in. I don't know if that's something that's known, but it's something that you maintenance in the house essentially. If there's a type of maintenance you have to do every week or every other week in the house, that's a great way to kind of help focus. I think it can help. And I'm using mine as an example. And I've come to realize this because I bought a robot lawnmower that's going to cut the grass. Because I don't like cutting the grass, but at the same time, I like cutting the grass. And the reason why I like cutting the grass because it is something that you can focus on. So when you're cutting the grass, and this applies to any kind of chore that you do, and it's worth giving it a shot. Hey, try it out and see if it works for you. And maybe one or two shots. First time that usually goes so well, but to whenever you're doing a task, it's been said all of the time, but I guess the first time me explaining as an example. So focus on the task that you're doing, and don't think about anything else. Right now you have one job. You have one job, and just do that. Focus on that. Don't think about anything else, and focus on your job. Whenever I cut the grass, I'm focused on where I need to cut, where do I go. Just focus on that task. It's very fun. A chore. It's kind of fun. Not all the time. Whenever you step on ant piles when you're cutting the grass, I'm in flip flops and I'm like, why is my feet kind of hurting? I look down, there's a whole bunch of ants on it, and I'm like, crap. But outside of that, though, it can be fun, you know, because when you're not really rushing in anything, obviously, you have to make sure that your day's kind of clear for that. I'm not saying clear out the day so you can cut the grass or do whatever chore that you're doing, but obviously you can have something in later on in the day, but make sure you have enough time to do the task that you're doing. Again, it could help with the focus. I'm not saying everyone's going to get focused from doing this, but it could, and it has for me. I really do enjoy cutting the grass, honestly, and it's kind of fun. Especially when I don't know how to describe it. It's like, it's fun, especially when that's not a chore, but it is a chore, but it's fun. Makes no sense. But hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. Focus on the task at hand. Don't think about anything else. And it can be quite liberating because at this point, you can focus on something. There is a task to focus on. So hopefully that will help you focus more. And at the very least, it may not be completely liberating your mind of thoughts because you have a task to do, but at least it'll liberate most of your mind, if not all of it, to the point of just what you're doing is the only thing on your mind. I don't know. Again, let me know if you wish to try it out. I highly recommend it, and let me know if it helps a little bit. Sometimes it takes practice, like he says. You're not gonna get the first time around, but when you can do that, the things that you do becomes more enjoyable. I remember I hated washing cars. Another example, I remember hating washing cars. It took so long to wash the car, but I remember the next time I thought to myself, man, I hate washing cars. Let me just focus on washing this car and get it over with. When I focused on washing the car, I was done. I'm like, it wasn't so bad. It wasn't pleasant at all, but it wasn't nowhere near as bad as when I was complaining about it. I was like, this actually was okay. And that made me realize about a little bit about focusing a little bit. Never really took hold, but that's the first time I've realized it. I wish it took hold though. And then perhaps a lot of things in life would be a lot easier. But yes, when you can kind of focus on the task at hand, as long as there's nothing else important coming up, it can help with getting things done and perhaps even more enjoyable than you really think it was. Like I said, with the washing car, I absolutely hated it. I remember that part. Whew. Took so long. Anyways, that's my reaction to You Only Get One Life. Oh, how did I get way off topic with that one? But anyways, so clearly he believes you get one life as Dadapani, and also he believes in reincarnation. Anyways, if you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up the sound down below. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next vid.